the Queen is she was a most unusual person because she had piercing blue. Well, first of all, she's very short in stature. So she was barely 4'10", 11. So she's very, very tiny little, tiny little woman with piercing blue eyes. And the amazing thing about her was that when you were in her presence and she spoke to you, you were the only thing in the room. You were the only person that she was listening to. And she had this great ability to drown everything else out. And because of her role, because she had been the Queen for a long time, she had traveled, she knew what was going on about so many things, not just political things, because the Queen does have a constitutional role as far as politics is concerned, but she never voices a political view. Okay, but the way that the constitutional monarchy works, you know, she knows all of the things that are happening. So because of that, because she's traveled, she's the most traveled person in history. She met more people than anybody ever has met. And because of that, she could join the dots really quite quickly. And she, as I say, she was extremely knowledgeable and had a very quick sense of humor and wit. So when I was presented to her as Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant, it was in Buckingham Palace at a reception, and there were the outgoing Lord Lieutenants. We all retire on our 75th birthday. So there were the outgoing ones and the incoming ones. So it was a reception, and partners, I guess, could have come. Didn't matter. But it was a reception attended by some 30 or 40 people. And when you arrive and they give you canapes and little stuff, eventually they say to you, it's time for you to be introduced. So someone will call out your name, you know, Mrs. Peaches Golding, Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant for Bristol. So you go in, you shake her hand, you do a very deep curtsy, deep curtsy. And then you go into another room where you have canapes and drinks and all sorts of things. And then eventually somebody sidles up to you and says, it's your turn to meet the Queen. And I thought, well, gosh, I've already done that. I mean, I've met her once. But it was my chance to have a discussion with her. So I thought, well, what on earth am I going to say? So you know that when you have a conversation, the first thing you need to know is how you're going to break the ice. I'll break the ice. Ma'am, is what you call them the second time around. Ma'am, I'm Peaches Golding and I'm from Bristol. Okay, fine. And then after that, she might say something, I might say something, everything's tickety-boo. So I went up to her at the appropriate time. She looked at me and she said, ah, you're Peaches from Bristol. Took the air out of the room. But the wonderful thing was that at the end of our conversation, I was able to say congratulations to her, because it was just a few months after she and the Duke of Edinburgh had celebrated their 70th wedding anniversary. Oh. And she just beamed. And when she smiles, she lights up the room. There's no doubt about it. You know, she just beamed. She was so incredibly happy and pleased that I had remembered that and had wished her well. So yeah, she was a very good boss.